and welcome to the Live Love Artemis YouTube channel. We are your co-hosts, Becky Rinkevich, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Rafaelina Merlino, and we are the founders of Live Love Artemis Real Estate Group, a Philly-based international real estate company that is on a mission to educate, inspire, and serve in all things real estate.
Yep, and today we're going to talk to you, home sellers, about a few steps to make the home selling and listing process a little easier, some things, some mindset things, some things you should really think about. Selling your home is a really intense process when you don't have the right tools and partners and affiliates, and so today we're just going to talk to you about a few short steps. So enjoy and let's walk through. So Beck, why don't you start us off?
So the first thing when you decide that you want to sell your home is figure out your motivation for selling.
Yeah.
Are you getting relocated for work? Are you downsizing? Are you having a baby? Are you moving out of state for some reason? Are you in a drastic hurry to sell? Or are you kind of just testing the market to see what the buyer's feedback is and what you could get for your property?
Yeah.
Because that will really come into play when it's time to price your property. Do we need to price it below market value and just get it sold and maybe inspire a multiple offer situation? Or are we going to price it a little bit above market value and just test the waters and kind of see what the feedback is from the buyers?
Yeah, which is huge, and that's definitely like a mindset thing. You want to know where you're at, and also it's great for the next step, which is choosing your realtor. So this is so important. For sale by owners are really difficult, the negotiation process, and we have about 100 steps of things that we do before listing a home, when we're listing a home. So it takes a lot off your plate to just let the professionals take care of it and move into that. So choosing a realtor is all about market area knowledge. How well does this person know real estate? Marketing real estate, because ultimately that's what we're doing. We're taking your home and we're putting it up on the market, and it's competing with other homes, so it needs to showcase really well. And something that just happened to us the other day was a lot of realtors, if it's not in a certain price point, they won't even use HDR photos. So HDR photos are those beautiful photos you see on Zillow when you're scrolling through, and some realtors don't even use HDR photos. So for us, we set a certain standard. That's the one thing that we said when we first started this business, that we were setting a standard. Every home gets HDR photos or videos, depending on the home. If it's like a home that we can't get into because it's a newly built triplex, we might do a Matterport. And that might help, because if people can't get in while tenants are in, it just helps people walk through the process virtually. But when choosing a realtor, what you really want to know from the realtor is, what have you sold? What's your production like? Have you ever sold a home that's worth X amount of dollars? Have they ever worked in your area? So the important thing for us is that we generate leads through different ways. We use social media, different types of marketing, different kinds of mailers, our website, and we have a whole marketing team. So for us, we're constantly marketing out to buyers. So we have this great pool of buyers, and ultimately we're just taking those buyers to our listings, right, to sell these homes. So we're really able to sell listings before they hit the market, which is, especially now in this competitive market, you want to make sure you have qualified buyers. So you want the right person on your team. So that's the second step there.
Perfect. So the next step would be understanding your home value.
Yeah.
And Rafaelina just touched on for sale by owners. So I still blows my mind that people even try to attempt to sell their house for sale by owner. Think about it. If you needed surgery, like on your foot, would you ask your neighbor to complete surgery on your foot? Like, oh, I want to save money and not go to the doctor. Probably not.
That's actually a really good example.
Right, exactly. So we're the experts here. I mean, collectively,
I don't want to talk to you, but I would do surgery on your foot.
Oh, I would be the only person I would like to do surgery on.
I would.
Yeah. So we have collectively over 13 years of selling real estate.
Yeah.
So we've sold over combined 400 houses, actually probably more than that. So that's why it's so important to choose the right realtor and let us do the work for you.
Yeah.
Statistically, for sale by owner properties get 86% of what their list price is. 86%. So if you're selling your house for $100,000, statistically, a for sale by owner property will get $86,000.
Yeah.
If you hire a real estate agent, because most of the time for sale by owner people, they do that because they want to not pay commission, right? So usually commission's about 6%, and our team gets about 98% of the list to sold value.
Yeah.
So 6% commission, another 2% off, because that's our statistic, 98%.
Yep.
So really, we end up getting 92% of
Yep.
our listed sold value.
Yeah.
So you're saving. You're then making more money just by hiring an
Yeah.
agent. You don't have to do any of the work. So I
Yes.
could go on and on about that, but that's why it's so important to
Yeah.
know your home's value and price it appropriately.
Yeah.
There are a lot of venues out there right now that will tell you what your home is worth, like Zillow. Zillow can be a great tool if you're a new buyer looking for new properties maybe in the market, searching inventory, but Zillow throws on their Zestimate to tell you what your house is worth. And how the hell do they know if you have redone your kitchen?
They don't.
Or
They
put
don't.
a new roof on,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
updated your HVAC, or so they have no idea. So they're just arbitrarily throwing this number out.
Yeah.
They could be telling you that your house is actually worth less than what it really is worth, or drastically overvaluing it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to bring in the professionals and let us do our job.
Yeah.
We always complete a comparative market analysis that helps us price your property. Depending on the location, if you're in an urban area, we usually go about 0.25 miles to 0.3 miles out of the range that your property is in, and we use comparable sales to price your property. If we're out in the suburbs or more rural area, we go, farther out, 1 to 3 miles out. Usually school districts play a big part in finding comps in that area. But that's why it's just so important to understand your home's value. It doesn't matter what your neighbor thinks it's worth. It doesn't matter what you think it's worth. It's what the market is willing to pay, and we're the market experts here.
Yeah.
So then we'll go into, do you have anything to add? Or we can go
No,
on to the
I
next
think
point?
and you just touched on something really important in understanding market value. The right realtor will never come in with their opinion. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing you know when it's not the right realtor. They come in and say, well, I think. It is the market determines the value of your home. Your home could have been worth $500,000 last year. However, if the market took a downturn and now it's only worth $450,000, the right realtor will be able to know that through different things like absorption rate, understanding what inventory levels are like, understanding how many months of inventory are on the market. So the tighter the inventory, it's a seller's market. The more inventory, it's a buyer's market. So it's kind of, actually vice versa. I just mixed that up. Whatever I just said, the opposite. But so it's important that the point of the realtor is for them to educate you not only on just your home value. I know you live in your home, but there's someone else out there that's studying the market. It's almost like the stock market, right? Someone's sitting there every day and studying the market, which is something that we do and take pride on. So,
and it's actually really important to also, if you have a realtor that comes in and just tells you what you want to hear, oh, you want to list your house for $500,000, even though they have all the statistics to show you that it's only worth $450, but they say, well, I'll list it for wherever you want. I wouldn't go with that because they're just trying to get the listing, and what's going to happen is it's not going to sell, and then they're going to want you to do a price reduction, and then you're chasing the market, and you'll end up selling for way less than if you price the house appropriately from the beginning.
And I think Becky had said this to me a while back, that someone's negotiating skills are shown in that moment. So the way that they're negotiating with you is the way that they're going to be negotiating on the back end when it's time to negotiate. And Becky's going to walk through a few of the moments that you're going to be negotiating. So the other thing is first impressions matter. Now, if you're selling a home for an investor and the property needs work, obviously it's okay, you're selling it as is. However, if you want top dollar for your home, we suggest a few things. Staging. If the home is new construction, you're a builder, flipper, it sells for 20% more and 30% faster if you get the home staged. Why is that? Well, with buyers, it's typically an emotional transaction, right? So we're walking into a home, and the right realtor will always tell a story in the home. So during our open houses, we're able to convert a lot of buyers because we allow them to understand the story of the home. That we're romanticizing them about living here and envisioning themselves. Could you imagine yourself washing your hands in this sink while looking at this view and having your family eat dinner at this table? And so why that's important is because that's what a home is. It becomes a place, and that's sort of the thing that still gives me goosebumps. And what I do is it's still where people gather and rest, and where their children are protected. And so there's something that's really symbolic behind it. But staging really allows people to see, oh wait, oh look, this could be our bedroom here, and look at this basement can be converted into a mini theater, or so you can really add a lot of value to a home by staging. Now, for those of you saying, well, I live here and I have my clutter, less is more. So your stuff in your home may not seem like a lot of clutter to you, but realize someone has to walk through the home and envision themselves there. What I always recommend is get a storage unit for 30 days. Take all the excess. It's great. You already have half the house packed up.
Yeah.
All the things you don't need. It helps you purge before moving. It's like we've had sellers that are like, packing was so easy because I got rid of everything I didn't need. I only had what I needed, and it was like you were already half packed. So that's, you can almost utilize. And then we can also come in. A lot of times we'll come in and we'll help the sellers, where we'll come in and bring a great little plant for a table, and we'll help you, just to spruce things up a bit, a different eye. And so staging is really important. There's stagers that we affiliate with. There's also virtual staging. So it costs about $26 an image. And it's great. You can stage it to whatever you like, and you can go online and you can use an HDR photo from your realtor. And this is normally something we include in our marketing. And we'll have it staged where you can have it, modern, contemporary, whatever style furniture you like.
Exactly. Why don't you tell them about the statistics of how quickly the home sells and how much more when it is staged?
Yeah, so it sells 30% faster for 20% more when you have the home staged. And why that's important is because, yes, you're making an investment. I did forget to mention that. Staging can cost you anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 depending on the size of the home and how many rooms. However, if you have holding costs, a mortgage, and if you have to leave the home on for another 30 days, you're already spending that money. So it's better to spend it up front, and then some stages will work with you where they'll actually take it at settlement so that you're not paying it out of pocket and it's coming out of your proceeds.
Yeah.
And if you're making a good, a good lump sum back, you won't even know it's fixed.
Exactly.
So, but Beck, walk us through the last step.
Yeah, so the last step is being realistic in your negotiations.
Totally.
So it has to be a win-win. We have to remember here, the seller wants to sell, the buyer wants to buy, and it has to be a win-win for all parties. If the seller gets beat up on price and the buyer is really like raking them through the coals, and they're feeling really disgruntled about the price that they ended up signing the offer for, when it comes time for home inspections, they might be way less apt to make repairs, give credits in lieu of repairs, or reduce the purchase price. They might just say, you know what, take it or leave it, because I'm so upset about the fact that I feel like I gave my house away.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, if the buyer's like, I overpaid for this house, they didn't, work with me at all, I feel like I didn't get a deal, then they might, something little might come up in the home inspections, like, a stain on the carpet, and they might say, you know what, I'm terminating, I'm walking, good riddance, have fun with another buyer.
Yeah.
So when there's animosity and, it doesn't feel like a win-win for all parties, because that's really huge for us, it's one of our values, it has to be a win-win for everyone. There's odds that it might not make it to the closing table. Yeah. So just be really realistic. There's multiple times during the course of the contract to close period that we will have to have negotiations. Yeah. So the initial negotiation when writing the offer to purchase, and then once the home inspections are completed, we negotiate when there's repairs needed or replacements or credit in lieu of or reduction in price. And then if the appraisal comes in and the appraisal doesn't come in at value, or if there's repairs required for the appraisal, there'll be negotiations needed there. So there's a few times during the contract to close period there are negotiations needed, but that again is why it's so important to hire competent, professional, and hardworking realtors that are great at negotiations like us, that have a lot of experience doing this. Yes.
And imagine having to do that. Like imagine sitting at the dinner table with whoever you're living with or on your own, and just having the other side call you, who is represented by a realtor, and they're negotiating with you, and it's the first time you're ever negotiating an appraisal, and not knowing that, hey, actually, the buyer could be the one that should take should come up in value, and maybe you didn't know that, and you'll end up losing $10,000 to $15,000, or no one met the appraiser at the property with the proper comparables. So now, if you don't have a listing agent and you're not meeting the appraiser with comparables, it can be very, very stressful. Yeah. So, and I think the one thing whenever going through the process of buying or selling, it really does not have to be this strenuous process. It can actually, and a lot of our buyers, and you can check out some of our reviews, will say, and seller will say that they had a great experience because it's just the communication and it's just a flow, and it's definitely worth the percentage of commission that comes off of there. So
Definitely.
yeah, so those are the 5 steps to, selling your home. And as always, remember to live fully, give selflessly, and
Serve authentically.
Yes. Yep.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this content. Tell your friends about it. If there's any other topics you'd like to hear us talk about, feel free to reach out to us. And we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Thank you.